Following is just a quick overview of how you can use the mapping software inside of Salesforce.com. So again, as I spoke about, is that Salesforce is really just a database, and then they have an ecosystem called GeoPoint, or they have an ecosystem of app exchange partners, and one of them is a mapping app. We geocode the oil and gas data. So example here is that we have data sets, and those data sets are loaded inside of Salesforce.com. So I have well spud and well licenses. And your example that you gave me here, I could say, hey, I'm interested in Surge. And then here I have my data set that says, after I've logged in the US into Salesforce, I have spud licenses last 10 days. I'll come in and I'll say, let's edit that data set. And then what I want to do is I want to open it up. So I'm going to take the restriction off the last 10 days. And I'm going to say account name, select, contains, because I don't have the full name. And then I put in Surge, SURGE, and then add filter. And then we can close it and then go ahead and do our search. So just click on that, and then it will narrow down the matching results of the data that we have in there. Once again, the data sets that we have today include Canada and Texas. We're just finishing up Oklahoma, and if you sign up, I'll work on New Mexico and should have that done in about a 90-day time frame. So there's a list of all of the Surge licenses that we have. We can come down here and take a look at. These are all the well licenses that we have in there. We can search on a specific one. We can narrow down into a target area. In this case, I might want to try to narrow it down a bit, put a heat map on there, and then narrow it down and say, okay, well, we could see that is the obvious area that is the hottest. And we'll scroll down a little bit further, and then we start to break out that, the specific area that they're operating in. So this happens to be the area that is most prominent. Might want to look at some of the records, do a bit more of a narrow search. Another thing that I brought up that I thought might be interesting for you is after you install a piece of equipment for a customer, and I'm just going to get rid of the Surge example here. I've got, let's say that the equipment is in Asherton, Texas. I can go in and I can zoom in. So you could put the lat and long associated, with your equipment install. And then things you can do is I could say, hey, I want nearby, I want a 20-mile radius search. And then we can come down here again and say, okay, let's go in and take a look at, I'll say, all the Texas spud licenses within 20 miles of this particular location. So we'll go ahead and we'll select that. And then it's going to go in and it's going to do a radius search for us. And we'll see what the results come back for. Like when I do that type of radius search. So there's our radius search. And then again, we can come down, we can do some analytics associated with this. Here's the top list of companies, number one to the last one. We can, search it different ways. And then all of this information, which is very interesting, also can be exported to a CSV file. And then once I export that to a CSV file, I can do more searches and analytics associated to the data. So it gives you an idea. Very powerful platform. Salesforce is the database. GeoPoint's the mapping app. We geocode code the locations, but it's not just subject to those oil and gas wells. It can also be any information that you want to put into the system can be associated with it as well, making it a very powerful system for you to use from a mapping perspective.